Hello everyone, can you hear me? Just raise your hand if you can hear me. Amazing, perfect. Thank you so much for joining us today in this webinar. I'm super happy to be here with you. So my name is Alexis Alcalá. I'm super excited about this webinar today. We're going to be together for 1 hour. And before we start, I would like to know where you are in the world right now, which city, which country, so I can see the chat. So I'm personally at the Blue Sky Studio in Marbella, Spain. Here it's actually very hot. It's like close to 30 degrees these days. How about you? Where are you? Netherlands, India, Germany, Denmark, England, Belgium, Germany, UK, Portugal, Massachusetts. Amazing. England, Germany. Amazing. Beautiful. Amazing. So I think we are ready to start today. So thank you so much for joining us today in this webinar. What we are going to be covering is, first of all, some of my favorite practices, breathwork practices and holosomatic practices. So I'm going to share this with you. So we are going to be practicing together. And I'm super excited about them because I use them very often. It's like almost every day I'm using those techniques. I'm going to be also talking about our new program, the Unlock Your Full Potential program. This is a self-healing program, so I will explain what is going to happen there, because we have received many questions from many of you asking what is that and what am I going to receive and what is going to happen after 8 weeks. And we're going to be also talking about the facilitator programs as well. Awesome. If you have any questions, I have a huge screen right now in front of me and I see all your faces, and I really appreciate this because I feel like I'm talking to you directly to you. I see all of the faces and I'm also seeing the chat box. So if you have any questions, also my colleague Ana Maria is here with me. So if you have any questions, just write in the chat box and we are going to answer your questions. Some of them are going to be answered by Ana Maria, and some of them are going to be answered by me. So are we ready to start? Just raise your hand if you're ready to start this webinar. Great, amazing. So let's start with a very simple exercise. It's intense, at the same time it's a very short one, and I love it. This is something that I practice every day, like I would say 2-3 times per day. It's called the 20 connected breaths, and it's super easy. It's a breath that is done through the nose. We only breathe through the nose, and it's connected, the breath is connected, meaning that there are no pauses between inhale and exhale, exhale and inhale. And it's called 20 connected breaths because there are 20 breaths. In total, there are 4 rounds, and in each round, we have 4 short breaths, 1 long breath. It's something like this. I'm going to show you fast, and then we do it all together. I'm going to show you just 1 round. Super easy, right? So this is in total 4 rounds. So I'm going to invite you to find a comfortable seated position, to close your eyes, and then let's do it all together. So I'm going to do it also with you. Let's start. Second round. Two more rounds. And keep your eyes closed and stay there. And in this state, with your eyes closed, feel the sensations, feel your body, feel the energy, the sensations. Whatever you're feeling right now, keep your eyes closed. Maybe you don't feel that much, maybe it's hard for you, maybe you feel pain, maybe you feel tension, maybe you feel something different. So just bring awareness to what you are feeling. And slowly coming back and opening your eyes. And this is a really great practice, and actually many things are happening here. We feel like this is a very short practice, but actually we are, first of all, we are energizing the body, so we are more present, we feel more present. We also feel more grounded at the same time. And this is a practice that you can do at any time, in any place. You don't need a yoga mat, you know, you don't need to lay down and to have a very complicated setup. You can do it at any time. Of course, not when you are driving or you're doing something like it needs your attention, but you can do it at any time. For example, sometimes I'm in the supermarket and I'm waiting in the line and then I'm doing this exercise. Sometimes I remember in the past when I was working corporate, I just went to the toilet and then I closed the door and then for 1 minute I was doing this exercise. And this exercise is super powerful because actually there is science, and the science behind is that we are actually stimulating the vagus nerve. So this is one of the things. So the vagus nerve is one of the nerves in our bodies that is awakening the parasympathetic nervous system, and it's helping us to feel more relaxed and to trust the process and to feel good. Also, at the same time, we are raising our dopamine, our serotonin, and we are also feeling like energized at the same time. So it's a combination of feeling energized and at the same time feeling grounded. So I invite you to do this. You can even do, instead of 4 rounds, you could do 8 rounds and even 12 rounds as well. So it's up to you how you want to do it and when you want to do it. And yeah, this is an exercise that actually it helped me when I started with my own healing journey. I'm going to talk about my own healing journey because I think it's important. When I talk about the Holosomatic Method, I like to explain how I started my whole journey. So my whole journey started like 12 years ago. 12 years ago, I was living in Germany. I was not living here in Marbella in Spain. I'm from Spain, but I was living in Germany. And I remember one Sunday. Sunday was 3-4 a.m. at night. It was very late at night. And I was working for IT and for corporate. I was working for big companies. I was a project manager, so I was managing many people, very expensive projects. So I was doing a lot of stuff. So from outside, everyone would think that I was successful because I had a very good salary, a very good apartment. My life looked perfect outside, but very deep inside, I felt broken. I remember this Sunday, very late at night, I was on the bed. I was trying to sleep, and I felt like I cannot sleep, and I know that I need to go to my office tomorrow, and I don't like this idea of going back to my office. I really hate my job, and I hate my boss, and I hate my life. And this happened actually a few days after the doctor told me that I was celiac. So, you know, gluten-free. So I was not able to eat gluten. Gluten would be something bad for me. And also the doctor told me that I was lactose intolerant. So I could not eat gluten, I could not eat lactose. I had insomnia, so I was not able to sleep until very late every night. So I was awake until 3-4 a.m. every night. I was triggered by many different people, by many different things, by my thoughts, but by many different things. And I remember that this night, 3-4 a.m. at night, I was not able to sleep. I felt broken. I felt sick. I felt really shitty. Sorry for the word, but it felt very bad. And I thought, why? You know, the society is telling me that if I get a good position, if I get a good money, if my salary is very high, if I have a good car, a good apartment, if I have many material stuff, so I should be happy. This is what I learned from the society. This is what I learned from the educational system. This is what I learned from my school. But actually, I felt broken. And this was the beginning for me. This was 12 years ago. And I remember that I started with coaching. I started with talk therapy. I remember I started with a therapist. I had sessions with this therapist. I started to learn more about my traumas, about my limiting beliefs, about my blockages, about the stuff that I was repeating. It's like patterns that I was repeating. And thanks to talk therapy, thanks to coaching, I learned more about myself. I learned more about my mind. But, you know, it was not enough. There was a point where I felt like, okay, I know a lot about my shadows. I know a lot about my traumas. I know who created those traumas in my past, in my childhood. But it was not enough. And maybe some of you felt the same in the past. You did some mindset work, maybe coaching, maybe talk therapy. You went to many therapy sessions, but you felt like this is not enough. I'm not changing my life. Or maybe you studied a new diet and then you felt like, okay, I'm going to lose a lot of weight. I'm going to have a beautiful shape. My body is going to look amazing. But after some time, you felt like, no, it's not working. Something is not working. Who of you felt like this? Raise your hand because I can't see you. Yeah, many of you. Many of you. I would say 80% of you now, what they see on the cameras. And this happened also to me. It happened to me and I felt like this is not enough. Mindset work is not enough. I remember living in Germany because I was living there. I was living in Munich, and I remember leaving Germany and I moved to Spain. I also moved to Japan. I was living in Thailand. And at some point I was living in Thailand. I had a beautiful life there. I had an amazing life, a perfect life, I would say. It was a paradise. Imagine a paradise like an island where I'm having a Thai massage every day because there is very cheap. I imagine that I'm receiving every day. I go to meditation, to yoga. I go to many different practices. And there was a moment where I was doing so much, but I felt like, hey, this is not enough. I know that I'm having a beautiful life here. It's like when you go for vacation, it's the same. You go for vacation, you are for 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month for vacation, and then it's amazing. And you want to stay there, and you go to another country, you would like to move there to this new country. But very deep inside, you feel like, hey, this is not enough. I mean, I know that when I go back home, you know, the typical post-vacation depression. So many of us, we go for vacation, we come back, and then we feel very bad. We feel very, very bad because it's like we come back to our daily lives. And actually, coming back to our daily lives should be something awesome. So why don't we create an awesome life? So the thing is that I was in Thailand, and I was receiving a lot. And at some point, I realized that, hey, I know if I go back to Europe, if I go back to my home country, to Spain, I'm going to have the same experience. I'm going to have the same life. It's going to be exactly the same. I need something else. I need to really go to the root cause. I need to really connect to something that is making my life more meaningful. And suddenly, this is when I discovered body work and breath work. And I went to a breathwork session, and I discovered so much about myself. In this breathwork session, the first one, I was able to release so much. I was able to see so much about my past. I was able to feel connection to my body. And maybe some of you have tried our workshops or our techniques, or you have tried breathwork, body work, and you know what I'm talking about. Is this feeling of, I feel myself. If this feeling of, wow, I feel so much love, so much connection. Because you know, on our daily life, it's very hard to feel this connection, this love, this acceptance, this forgiveness. We are busy. We have many appointments on the calendar. And it's not your fault. Don't get me wrong. It's not your fault that you are so busy that you cannot connect to yourself, that you don't feel this connection, this love. The problem is that this is what we have learned. We have learned from our school. We have learned from the educational system. We have learned from our parents. What did your parents tell you long time ago? And what did the educational system did they tell you long time ago? That maybe earning more money, making more money, having a higher salary, or having more material belongings, like more material stuff, this is going to improve your life. It's going to make you happier. Of course, in the past, this was a very important element, because in the past, maybe our parents were victims of, like, they were survivors of wars, or they were in a situation, the economics were also really great. So having money was super important. Having a lot of food at home was very important. Still, some of us have probably this trauma from the past. We go to a supermarket and we feel like we need to buy a lot of stuff, and we come back home and we say, wow, I don't need so much food. But still we carry this trauma, right? And it's not only this trauma from food, it's many different traumas, many limiting beliefs from our parents. And also, don't get me wrong, our parents didn't do anything bad to us. Simply, they tried to protect us, and they tried to do their best. The problem is now, in our current society, in this world right now, where so many things, I mean, everything's so much developed. It's very easy to have a job. It's very easy to have a salary. It's very easy to have a stable life. Everything's more or less stable. There is more or less security, unless you go to a country in war that, unfortunately, they are still. But in general, in our countries, it's very easy to have a safe life. The problem is that we are still reprogrammed with thoughts, with patterns, with limiting beliefs from the past. And those limiting beliefs from the past is, for example, you need to be safe, you need to earn more money, you need to show up that you are not, for example, happy, you should perform in this way, you are a woman, so women do this, or they get married by this age, and they have kids by this age, or you are a man and you are not allowed to cry, you should not cry, because when you cry, you show weakness, and then if you show weakness, you're not going to have a good job, and people are not going to respect you. Those kind of things that really is not that anymore. This is not applicable anymore in our society. So we need to change the model. We need to change the way we live. We need to change. And the way we changed in the past was with mindset work. In the past, maybe if you If you had some connection to Catholic religion, you went to the church, to the priest, you talk about your problems. Later on, it was the psychologist, you went to the psychologist. You went for years, 14 years to the psychologist, you talked about your problems. But still you feel like, hey, there is something going on because the body, the things that the body is talking to you. And the problem is that we don't know, we don't pay attention, we don't listen to the body. And if we try to change our lives, and we don't consider the body, then we don't really change. Imagine, I'm going to give you an example. Maybe you are thinking about finding the love of your life because you are single, you are divorced, for example. And then you say, oh yeah, I want to find the love of my life. I join one app, like a dating app, like Tinder, something else. And then you try to find the love of your life. This person should be like this, the hair like this, that is like this, and this is the profile. And this is what you believe. It's like, no, my mind, I need to prepare my mind to find the right person. But maybe when you approach someone, you feel like your heart is telling you no. No, because you cannot trust men, you cannot trust women, you cannot trust people, you cannot trust relationships, because the relationship of your parents didn't work, because you saw so much suffering when you were a kid. And then you try to start a new relationship when you don't believe in relationships. This is the thing. The thing is that the body is telling you, hey, you don't feel safe in this situation, in this scenario. And we don't pay attention to the body. We just continue with our lives. No, but I want a relationship. I'm going to start whatever. I'm going to start this relationship with a person that is not right for me. And then it's when we are broke because we make mistakes. This person is not the right one for us. And we feel like, what is going on? We are broken. It's not working for me. So again, we need to come back to the body. And before I continue to talking about the body and why it's important to talk about the body, I saw on the chat that someone came to one of our workshops, and I want to ask you, who of you have any experience with InnerCamp, came to one of our on-site workshops or one of our trainings? You can raise your hand, or you can also write in the chat box. Okay, many of you. Amazing, amazing. Antwerp, yes, Antwerp. Okay, many of you actually. Okay, so nice to see you again. I hope to see you again in Zurich as well, long time ago, and in Amsterdam as well. Yes. You know, those workshops, you come to those workshops for 3.5 hours, you feel so many things, you feel the energy, you feel your heart, you feel the connection to everyone in the group, and you can feel so much. The problem is that we try to do things, and we try to create, for example, resolutions or affirmations, or we try to do some mindset work, or we went to just one breathwork session or one holosomatic session, and we didn't change anything in our lives, so it doesn't feel transformative, it doesn't feel lasting. There is no lasting transformation. We need to keep the commitment, and we need to keep doing things. So it's not about experiencing. It's like, imagine that you go to a yoga class and you say, okay, I want to feel more flexible, I want to improve my body shape, I want to just feel better, but then you go to a yoga class. It's not enough. You need to keep going. You need to keep the commitment. So a commitment is very important. And with the Holosomatic Method, our target is that you experience your body, you experience your emotions, you experience your past, but at the same time, you keep a lasting transformation, so you keep going. Because our target, and my mission for me is super important, that I don't only deliver experiences. I don't go to Antwerp, to Amsterdam, to Bristol, to those places where you join our workshops and then you feel amazing. And for 3.5 hours, you feel so amazing. My target is that you change your life. It's about manifesting a new life. So it's the same for me. So my target always, since I started my self-healing journey, was to manifest the life that I want. So this is what I'm trying to do all the time. I remember, for example, last year, when we started to do those on-site workshops, we started like, I think in spring, maybe May, June, something like that. And I remember going to Bristol, one of the cities that you wrote on the chat. And we had like 30, 40 people in those workshops. And I felt like, hey, I would like to have more people, because the energy from my side is the same. So I would like to have hundreds of people in my workshops. And I felt like, oh, wow, this is very, very big. This is a very big manifestation. So it's really challenging. So imagine putting so many people. And I remember that 6 months later, after I manifested this thought, this wish, I had almost 500 people in London. So I can tell you that what you manifest is possible. Everything is possible. The thing is that sometimes we don't manifest the right thing. We go, for example, we see those Instagram accounts, people saying, you can manifest whatever you want. Do you want to be rich? Do you want to have a big mansion? What do you want? Just dream about that, and you're going to get it. And it doesn't work. Because sometimes we are manifesting from our ego, from the mind. We listen to the mind, and the mind is telling, yeah, okay, maybe you can be rich. You can have $1 million, pounds, euros in your bank account, and then you're going to be happy. But very deep inside, our soul, our body is saying, you know what? You don't need money. You don't need 1 million euros. You don't need a big house. You're going to clean so much if you have a big house. You don't need to have a partner right now. You don't need to have kids, actually. Just because you learned a long time ago that women at this age need to have kids, you don't need to have kids. So what is really your manifestation? So this is why it's important to connect to the body. So manifestation without body work, without coming back to the body, is not going to work. So we need to listen to the body, because the body is telling us all the time. It's telling us this is not good for you, or this is ego-driven, or this is, you don't feel safe in this environment, in this situation. So I know I'm talking a lot. I would like to facilitate another technique that is really amazing. It's the Bhastrika Pranayama. It's a really amazing technique that I do very often. It's a very simple one, and I invite you to do it with me as well. So how are we going to do it? It's inhaling and exhaling through the nose, and every time we inhale, we raise the hands. Every time we exhale, we close the hands, and we lower the hands, and the exhale is forcefully done. So it's going to be something like this. Okay, we're going to keep the eyes closed. Our position, our spine is going to be very straight. Here I'm feeling so comfortable that I'm almost laying down on this chair. But we're going to be straight. The spine is going to be straight. We are going to raise the hands on the inhale. Inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale deeply through the nose. And we lower the hands. We close the hands, the fists. Okay? So let's start together. Let's close the eyes. And let's do 3 deep breaths here. Fully in through the nose. Fully out through the mouth. Fully in through the nose. Fully out through the mouth. One more time, in through the nose. Out through the mouth. Keeping your eyes closed, and let's start. And coming back to a natural breath, eyes closed, fully in through the nose, fully out through the mouth, fully in through the nose, and hold the breath after inhaling, and stay there, holding the breath after inhaling. And feel the sensations, feel your body, feel the energy. And feel yourself. And exhale with any sound. So this was just 1 minute. You can open your eyes. This was just 1 minute, and you see the power of breath work, the power of movement, the power of body work as well, because we are moving the body as well. So it's so powerful. I was doing this with you, and I feel like, wow, so much presence. So here there are 2 stages in this exercise. In the first stage, we are activating the sympathetic nervous system. So we are raising our dopamine, serotonin, and then we are feeling very energized. And in the second stage, what we are doing is we are awakening the parasympathetic nervous system. So what is happening is that we are feeling grounded and in control and very present in the present moment. And at the same time, we are energizing the body, and we are feeling grounded, and we are balancing the energy as well. So if you want to do this at home, you can do it. My recommendation, if you want to do it longer, is that you do it with a facilitator, but you could do it. We did like 30 breaths only, so you can do it at any time as well to feel more energized at home. And those practices are really amazing, as you can see. Of course, our intention is not only to have an experience and to feel good, just good for 1 minute. We want more. And I want to ask you now, who of you have experience with breathwork, bodywork, holistic therapies? So it would be amazing if you can write in the chat box. So what you have done in the past. So it would be amazing if you can write what you have done, maybe breathwork, bodywork. Okay, only the InnerCamp event, workshop, and breathwork every day, amazing, yoga, breathwork and somatic breathwork. Breathwork with Isha, okay, tantric breathwork. InnerCamp experience only, okay. Oh wow, sounds super interesting. Holotropic breathwork, bioenergetics, cold water, okay. Amazing, okay, meditation as well, different types of breathwork. There are really many different things, many different practices out there. So you can do many different practices. You could go to YouTube, for example, and then you can do many different practices. You can try breathwork, you can feel more energized, you can feel more present, so all of this is possible. The thing is that we need a framework, and we need a way of working that is not only giving us experiences. So what we want, and my intention always when I do those practices, and also when I created the Holosomatic Method, is to create a system that is changing my life. It's not changing just that day or that state, and it's really great. And I can even, sometimes I'm measuring, I have like devices where I'm checking, for example, the brain waves, and I see when I'm doing breathwork or bodywork practices, I see the brain waves, how they are changing. So I can see it in real time. I see also, for example, the oxygen saturation as well. So I see what is happening in the body, and it's really amazing. And there's even a lot of research going on right now those days about what is happening when we are doing body work, breath work, and these practices. The thing is that for me, when I started with breathwork, I went to those sessions, and I went to many sessions, and I tried with many different teachers, with many different schools. I tried with YouTube. I did many different things. I remember me, myself, like doing practices at home, trying things. Sometimes I did really bad things to myself because I had no idea, and when I started, and it was dangerous, and I didn't feel good. The thing is that when we do those practices, for me, my intention is always to change my life, is to manifest a new life. And I want to ask you, how have you ever thought, if you have joined one of our workshops, I know that you have thought about that, but I want to ask you, have you thought about how you want to elevate your life, what you want to manifest in your life? Raise your hand if you have thought about, hey, this is what I want in my life. Do you have a vision about your life, about the next 5 years? Who of you have a vision about your next 5 years? Wow, many of you. Guys, you are amazing, because many people don't have a vision. Many people don't know what they want. And if we don't know what we want, so we don't have like, when we have a vision, when we have an intention, we activate in something in the brain that is called the reticular activating system. So it's going to be easier for you to find opportunities, synchronicities, resources. So it's going to be very easy for you to understand what you want and to find opportunities. So for example, imagine this situation where you want to buy a new car, a new phone, or a new laptop, or you want something new, and then you never thought about that item in the past, but suddenly you see advertisements everywhere. You see people with this phone, with this car, with this item everywhere. It's like suddenly you can see it. It's because the reticular activating system in our brain is telling us, hey, look at that. Oh, this person has this item, maybe it's good, maybe it's not good. Oh, look at this color, maybe this color is not good. So it's the same with our vision. We need a vision, we need an intention. If we don't have an intention, we are lost in life. We can go to many workshops, we can go to many yoga sessions, we can do a lot of therapy, but we are not going to achieve anything. We can heal something, we can go to many workshops. I have heard people saying, I have been in hundreds of breathwork sessions, or Kundalini activation sessions, or those sessions to heal traumas, etc. Okay, and how do you feel? How are you after those so many sessions? Yeah, good. I think it's improving my life. But that's all. So after hundreds of sessions, your life should be much better. So it should not be a little bit better. So this is our intention with our Holosomatic method, is that we create a manifestation and we make it possible. So it's about elevating your life. And I want to ask you, how do you want to elevate your life? I know that many of you have a vision. So how do you see yourself in 5 years? Maybe you want to share in the chat box, or maybe not, but think about, how do you want to see yourself in 5 years? Have you thought about that? Operate from higher self. Beautiful. It's a beautiful vision. On a sailboat, sailing the world in a discovery of all beautiful gems. Amazing. Hosting a space for other people. I want freedom, financial, spiritual, location, emotional. Heal others. Inner space. Living the best version of myself. Having my own homestead. Elevating others. Beautiful. I want a total freedom. Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. Yes, beautiful, beautiful visions that you have and beautiful manifestations that you have. I'm going to give you a trick. If you have a specific vision, if you think about exactly what you want, it's going to be much more easier. So when you say, I want total freedom, what is total freedom for you? Does it mean that you don't use your cell phone every day? Does it mean that you don't need to work? Does it mean that you can be naked outside? So what is really the meaning of total freedom for you? So how do you see yourself? When you say, I want to be in service, how do you see yourself being in service? What is that? It's like facilitating breath work, body work. It's about opening a retreat center. When you have a clear vision and when you see yourself achieving this manifestation, this vision, okay, I want to have this work, this job, for example. I want to have all this amount of people. It's like what I mentioned earlier about me, about myself last year. I thought, I envisioned like having hundreds of people in a room and facilitating my Holosomatic method. This was my vision. So I want to ask you, specifically, what is your vision? This is going to help you. You don't need to figure out right now. You can do it after the call or tomorrow. But I invite you to really reflect on that. What is exactly what you want to achieve? And something that I didn't mention earlier, but something that is very important as well for me and for InnerCamp is that everything we do here is not woo-woo. It's not, okay, this is mystical, so you just need to believe in whatever, so this looks nice. So there is a very strong science behind. So everything we do it with research. We have a research department. We have psychologists at the team that they are verifying what we are doing. So for us, it's very important that we know, we explain. So I mentioned about those devices. Sometimes I'm measuring brain waves, I'm measuring oxygen saturation, I'm measuring heart rate variability, and measuring really many different things to understand what is happening in my body. Because many things, very often, what we see is that people go to workshops that are created just in a magical way, without really any research or any science behind. And they are harming people, and people are traumatized, they are re-traumatized, or it was too much for them. So everything we do, we should have, I'm not saying that you should be like 100% science. For me, it's very important that we combine the ancient and spiritual practices together with science. So for me, when I found it, when I created InnerCamp, the idea for me, because, you know, I'm an engineer, so for me, I'm a very skeptical person, so I don't trust just because you tell me, just inhale healing energy. No, okay, what is really happening when I'm inhaling? So what is happening in my body with the oxygen, with the carbon dioxide? So for me, it's very important to understand the science behind. I love the mystical world, don't get me wrong. I talk about chakras, I talk about ancient practices. I love Taoism, Ayurveda, pranayama, yoga. So all of that, we bring it to what we do at InnerCamp, into the Holosomatic method, of course. But there is always a very strong research and a strong science behind what we do. So I'm going to show you next, because I don't want to bore you with so much theory. I want to show you another technique that I love to do. For some people, this is a little bit more complicated, but for some people, it might be a bit challenging. Okay, I'm going to explain. It's called the pulse breathwork. It's a kind of breathwork that I created like 1 year ago. I don't know, maybe someone else is doing this technique, but this is something that I created like 1 year ago. So what we do is we inhale through the nose, and we do 3 inhales, and we exhale through the mouth, and we do 3 exhales, and the breath is connected. Let me show you. So this is the breathing pattern. Now, some of you maybe feel like, you know what, it's difficult. It's difficult for me to breathe in this way. It's not that the technique is difficult for you. It's not that it's not possible for you. What might happen is that you have a blockage. Is that maybe your nostrils are blocked. It's maybe you have a blockage in your belly, and then when I ask you to expand your belly, or work on the lower part of your lungs, maybe you have a blockage, you have some tension there, and that is the problem. This is why you cannot breathe properly. But always when we do those techniques, when we go to any session, to any workshop, what is more important is not being perfect. We don't want to be perfect. We don't want to be the most spiritual person or the best student in the class and doing the technique perfectly. This is not the target. The target is that you feel yourself. Imagine that you're doing this technique and then you feel like it's hard for you. It's hard for you to inhale for so long. It's hard for you to exhale in this way. It's hard for you to exhale with sound because you feel like someone might judge you. So all the thoughts, everything that is happening during the exercise is part of the process, okay? So with this one, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. We're going to do it together. It's going to be for around 2 minutes. It's going to be more intense. So finding a comfortable seated position. We're going to start all together. So close your eyes, relax your shoulders, relax your hands, your arms. And let's start. One more minute. Thirty more seconds. Two more. One more. And fully in. Fully out. Fully in. And hold the breath after inhaling and stay there. Holding the breath. Feeling your body. Feeling the sensations. and exhale with any sound. This was much more powerful, right? So it's normal that maybe some of you felt like, oh wow, this is a lot, or you had some issues with your breathing. So it's totally fine. So what is happening here in the background? I'm going to talk about the science and what is really happening. So we are balancing the oxygen and the carbon dioxide levels. So this is what is happening during this exercise. We are enhancing the vagal tone. So this means that we are massaging the internal organs, and then we are activating the parasympathetic nervous system. So we are feeling more relaxed, and we learn how to feel more relaxed. We learn how to come to this parasympathetic state. We are also regulating the heart rate variability. We are also improving the respiratory efficiency, so we learn how to breathe better. We are also increasing or triggering the serotonin as well. So this is good for the mood, it's good for the focus, so we feel more focused. This is good also for the GABA, so we feel more present. So it's good also to trigger the endocannabinoids. So when we do this, we feel this sensation of peace, of oneness. We can also balance the dopamine, so we have a balanced dopamine level so that we don't feel so super energized, too much energized. We are also reducing and lowering the cortisol after the exercise, meaning that we can feel less stressed after we do this exercise. And we can integrate and stabilize the energy, our energy. We can also open the heart, we can also open the throat, meaning that when we open the heart, we can feel more our heart, we can feel more love for ourselves, love for other people, and we open our throat, meaning that we can set boundaries. We feel ready to say yes, we feel ready to say no, we feel ready to say stop, or whatever we need to say to other people. And we also bring more interoception, so meaning that we feel more ourselves, we feel more the emotions, the sensations, what is really happening in the body, and embodiment, meaning that we feel more connected to ourselves, we feel more connected to the sensations, what is happening. One of you saying, I felt anxious. You can feel anxious during the exercise, and something that is happening when we do these exercises is that we feel ourselves. Imagine that you have anxiety in your body. So very often we are going to feel anxiety. We're going to feel maybe sadness. We're going to feel emotions. Some people are going to start crying. Why? It's not that the exercise is causing these states. It's not that the exercise or the energy around you is bringing those emotions to you. It means that you are feeling what you have inside. And this is an opportunity to understand that, hey, I have anxiety. Because, why? I don't know, maybe many different reasons. It can be my job, it can be the way I'm breathing, because I'm breathing through my chest, for example. It can be many different reasons, but I have anxiety, or I have sadness, or I feel the pain from the past. I feel the pain from long time ago when I broke up with my ex-partner, and I still cry about that, because maybe you didn't still close the cycle, and you still feel the pain, you still feel you need to still close what's happening in the past. So it's an opportunity to feel more. And we don't do these exercises in a random way. In the Holosomatic Method, what we do is we put them all together, and it's a set of techniques. We use them in the right way. Now, in the webinar today, we use those exercises to feel things and to see that, hey, it's possible to feel the body. What we do with the Holosomatic Method is to bring them in a way that makes sense, that is helping you to feel and to remove what is not serving you anymore. And not only that, it's not about healing traumas, it's not only about crying or yelling or like feeling bad. It's also about manifesting. So, okay, I remove what is not serving me, and what's next? Next is maybe manifesting my new life. Maybe next is to feel happy. Maybe next is to visualize and to bring to reality what they dream of. Okay, so this is what we do, and you can do it by yourself. You can go to YouTube and you can do different exercises and try to find the way to do it by yourself. Or you can also do it with us. And for that, we have created the Unlock Your Full Potential. This is a new program. And actually, this is the first edition that we are launching. And we are launching on the 2nd of November. So in this program, what we do is we bring all the practices that I have learned in the last 12 years. We put them together. It's going to be a journey of 8 weeks, where we have 8 live sessions, where we have 16 virtual workshops. We spend many hours together with me and also with the master trainers at InnerCamp. So we work together, we envision our new life, we manifest our new life, and we help you with many different techniques. This program is not to become a facilitator. So you don't want to teach to other people. For that, we have other programs. With this program, what we want to do is to improve our lives, is to manifest our new life and to make it possible. So instead of you looking for information, looking for YouTube videos, going here and there, going to many workshops, to many different places, you get everything in 8 weeks. Of course, you get access to the training forever, so you are going to have access forever. So in the future, if you want to come back, so you can come back. And my question to you is like, because some people say, yeah, but I need to spend some money, so I need to invest money. Yeah, but how much are you spending, and how much is the cost of not doing things or of not changing your life? So, you know, New Year's resolutions, many of us are creating New Year's resolutions, and probably you're going to create at the end of December, on the 31st of December, oh yeah, a new year, so I'm going to create my resolutions. And there are studies talking about what is really happening with the resolutions. What is happening is that after 5 minutes, you forget the resolutions. Or after even 2 weeks, it's like gone, completely gone. You have everything written, and 98% of the people who are creating resolutions, they forget completely about the resolutions. So we need a system, and this system that I present to you today is a system that is going to create lasting transformation. So it's not just a set of practices that you can do at any time in a random way. It's a way for you to change your life, to manifest a new life, and we are going to make it possible with counseling, with calls together, with live sessions, with emotional support, with assignments, with 100 hours of content where the target is for you to change your life. This is the target. Of course, some people say, no, you know what? And I read the comments today. Oh yeah, someone is asking, what is the difference between the live sessions and the workshops? The live sessions are sessions for the group of people of this program, and I tell you already, this group is going to be very small. It's not going to be more than 25 people, okay? So maximum 25 people for this edition. So these live sessions are only for this workshop, and for these live sessions. And the workshops are virtual events that we do with the whole community. And we do different teachers, and it's different things. It can be breathwork, body work, the Holosomatic Method, energy activation, shamanic practices, cacao ceremonies, so it's many different things. So it's a combination of many different practices. And some of you said, yeah, but I want to become a facilitator. I want to facilitate this to the people. And for that, we have our facilitator programs. We have breathwork, body work, energy activation, tantra. Some of you might ask, what is the difference between energy activation and tantra? Energy activation is a very straightforward method. It's 4 months where we learn how to activate our Kundalini energy in a safe way, in a trauma-informed way. And tantra is a program of 10 months where you learn all about tantra, different paths of tantra. So it's a very different program. So it's up to you what resonates more with you. So it doesn't mean that you need to do all of that to become a facilitator. You can say, I want to do breathwork, or I want to do body work, or I want to do energy. So I see Catalina asking, what is the right program for me? And it's a very good question. What is right is going to depend on what you want. Breathwork is for everyone. Breathwork is breathwork to raise your Kundalini energy. Breathwork to feel more better in performance. Breathwork is to go to mystical states and to see it's like similar to ayahuasca, but better because you don't need to consume anything. So it's just your breath. So it's like, it's key is to feel also more energized, to improve in many different areas. So it's breathwork for everything. Body work is like more for trauma release, is to understand your body and to release stuff from your body. It's more about analyzing your body and removing what is not serving you to have a better life. And energy activation is, let's say, the mystical path at InnerCamp, where we work with energy, we work with the hands, we move the energy, we do magical things with the hands, with the arms. So I would say if you don't have experience with holistic therapies, with this kind of work, I would go first for breath work or body work if you want to become a facilitator before going to energy. And Tantra is another program that is more related to Tantra. Tantra practices, intimacy, tantric massage, really many different things. The curriculum is on the website, and we're going to have a webinar also middle of December to talk about the differences between the energy and the Tantra program. And all the facilitator programs, these ones are more to facilitate. The previous program I mentioned is for you, for yourself, only for yourself. And of course, when you change yourself, you change your family and you change your environment. Okay, so it's impacting everyone around you. In the facilitator programs, this is like we go deeper. We show you, we teach everything around how to facilitate, what you need to take into consideration. If you have been in one of our on-site workshops, people think that, okay, it's just about breathing, it's about touching your body, it's about music. It's not only about that. If you check what is happening in the room, imagine 500 people in a room, and people going through traumas, going into very deep states of activation where they revisit traumas, they get emotionally hijacked, many things are happening. So we need to know what to do with those people in a therapeutical way so that we don't harm anyone. So this is what you're going to learn, how to deal with scenarios that are complicated, how to help everyone, not only a few people, not only guiding one session, okay, this is the style, this is the music from my school, and you just let it play. No, it's not about that. It's about becoming a therapist, learning how to facilitate this to people in a safe way where you are not harming other people, okay? And giving to the people what they really need, not just one method, okay? So this is what we do. It's 300 hours. It's weekly live sessions if you choose the online program, or if you choose the hybrid program, it's 5 days in person and online training as well. All of them include online live sessions. It's also monthly mentorship. We meet during the training, but also after the training. The next years, we are supporting you. We have students who finished the training in 2021, and they still come to our community. They come to us, they ask questions. I got a client with this situation, what do you recommend? And we support, because our mission is first is to help you to improve your life if you choose the self-healing program. And second is to create the best facilitators in the world. This is our mission. So we're going to do our best, everything that is possible from our side. We're going to invest all the time, energy, and money that we can from our side to make the best facilitators. This is our target, because we want good facilitators that are not harming people. In the past, I was traumatized by bad facilitators. I don't want that. I don't want that any of my facilitators that study with InnerCamp traumatize people or do something wrong to people. So I'm going to make my best to make this possible. So when you come to InnerCamp, you are going to learn how to do the work in the right way, trauma-informed, where people are not going to feel bad after the session. And we have also bonus trainings. For example, if you join the breathwork program, you get also access to the cacao training, that the cost is like almost 500 euros, so you get it for free. Also for the other programs, you get also bonus trainings as well. You get the student facilitation sessions where you are going to practice. You get feedback from the teachers, from me, on how you are doing. So we help you as much as we can. And I see many questions. I think, yeah, Ana Maria can answer all the questions because I don't see all of them. So maybe, Andreas, you can make the meeting chat bigger, and then I can see everything. So yeah, we still have the 2-day retreats planned. So we are going to have one in May. It's going to be in Brighton in the UK. So this is going to happen in May. So we're going to announce it, I think, next week. Yeah, sessions are recorded, but yeah, depending on the sessions. So some sessions might be mandatory to get a diploma. And yeah, I see Karina saying, yeah, I recommend the hybrid training. The hybrid training, the thing is that you are coming in person with the team, and then you can experience in person, you can give, you can receive. But if you feel like, hey, I cannot pay for flights, etc., it's still very effective. The online training is still very effective. So do you have any questions? You can also write in the chat box any questions, because now I can see all the questions, and this is really amazing. Thank you, Andreas. You guys are amazing. I'm in the best video studio in, I would say, in Spain. It's the Blue Sky Studio in Marbella, Spain. And these guys are really amazing. You cannot imagine how professional they are. Okay, I don't see any more questions. And I wanted to finish because I think it's already almost time. Okay, we have still 5 more minutes for questions. Yeah, I want to share this QR code here on the screen. You can see the QR code. We are going to send you also an email, but this QR code is valid for 24 hours. Imagine that you say, you know, I want to go for the self-healing program. I want to study, I want to improve my life. So you can go with us. There's a special discount now of 500 euros. So you can join this program for the discounted prices in the next 24 hours. If you feel like, no, I want to become a facilitator. Do I need to also study this program? Not. If you want to become a facilitator, go to one of the facilitator programs, and then you're going to get everything. Because inside the facilitator programs, 50% is self-healing. You're going to do the work for yourself. Why? Because you are not going to be a good facilitator if you don't do the work with yourself. Okay? I have also experienced this to myself in sessions, people who didn't do the work, they came to me, they came with judgment, they came with triggers, and then they don't do a good job. So before you go to a client, you need to understand your triggers. You need to heal yourself. I'm not saying that you need to be 100% healed. I can't tell you I'm not 100% healed. I'm not a Buddha or something like that. I have been in this journey for 12 years. I can tell you that I have healed many things. I still have my triggers. I still have my traumas. I still have my stuff. I have my shadows, and I accept them, and I work with them every day, okay? But you don't need to be perfect to facilitate. Sometimes the self-sabotage pattern is telling us, no, you need more, you need more. But actually, if you do this self-healing journey with us inside the facilitator program, it's going to be enough for you to understand your triggers, your traumas, to heal stuff before you go to clients. And now I have still a few minutes for questions. So if you have any questions, just feel free to. So from accreditation perspective, we give you a diploma once you finish the facilitator program, if you do the facilitator program. And then in some countries, you need a diploma in order to get an insurance. So the insurance is a must. So everyone that is facilitating should have an insurance. So with this diploma, in many countries, in other countries, you don't need the final diploma. You can get an insurance. But for example, I think in the UK, you might need like the diploma, the accreditation. So with our accreditation, with our diploma, it's going to be enough for you. Also, we are accredited by 3 very international and big organizations. So our diploma is valid. We have 5 awards as well. So the diploma is good enough to facilitate. You don't need anything extra. It's not like, you know, those trainings that last a few hours, and then you feel like when you finish the training, like, okay, now what? I need more trainings. In this training, not. Some people say, I do breath work and I do maybe also body work because they want to know more, but they don't need more. One program is enough already to facilitate. And I see, Bruno, we're going to send also the link to this self-healing program and also to the facilitator programs. We're going to send them over email in case Ana Maria doesn't have enough time to send the link. Okay, Do, you are in the cacao course. Amazing. Amazing. It's a really great idea. So in breathwork, what we do is we give you free access to the cacao program, because when we combine breathwork and raw cacao, ceremonial cacao, it's so powerful. It's amazing. So people have, wow. I don't want to create high expectations. I prefer you to really explore and to see the effects in your clients and also in yourself. But also if you join the self-healing program and you come to one of our cacao ceremonies plus breathwork, you will see that it's super powerful, because cacao, the ceremonial cacao, it's not psychoactive. It's not like psychedelics. It's not like ayahuasca. It's simply cacao, but it's pure cacao. What is happening with cacao is that it's opening your heart, and then you're feeling more. And always people report feeling the connection to something bigger, to something, to Mother Earth, to nature. So it's really amazing what they can see, what they can feel in those sessions when they try cacao before doing breathwork or some healing journeys or other journeys. Yeah, Veronica, if you want to facilitate, come directly to the facilitator program, because you are going to save money. If you go too fast to the self-healing, then you're going to, we might give you a discount, but the thing is that the facilitator program includes already self-healing. So 50% of the program is to receive. So you're going to learn, you're going to receive all the time, so you don't need to do it. I mean, you go directly to the facilitator. And Karina asking about Munich. I don't know. We are planning something for February. I don't know yet. Yes, but I don't know where in Europe. We are planning something beautiful, interesting, different. Yeah, after the training, we help you, and during the training with the technical staff. So we help you. You are going to learn how to use, for example, when you have sessions, how to use the speakers, how to use headphones. In our workshops, we love the headphones. The headphones are super important for us because we use binaural beats, we use solfeggio frequencies, we use also AD audio, so we talk from different angles. So we are going to explain all of this. We are going to help you with the technical stuff because this is important. Also, if you facilitate in Zoom, we facilitate very often in Zoom, we need to explain to you how it works, because there are some setup that is super important, that if you don't do, people don't hear your voice, don't hear your breathing, they don't hear your music very well. So all of that is covered in the trainings, insurance, technical stuff. So basically once you finish the training, you have everything to facilitate. Of course, we don't give you the clients, we help you. We don't give you like, hey, you have here the clients, this is something that you need to do with your website, but we, for example, we invite you also to come to the on-site workshops and to volunteer and to see what is happening in the room. And you can learn so much in the on-site workshops, because you see hundreds of people going through the method, and you see so many reactions. So you can support us there and you can learn a lot. It's like a very intensive course in 4 hours. Yes, we are going to send the recording of this workshop, Angela, so we will send it afterwards, tonight or tomorrow. In London, we don't have any plans for hybrid facilitator trainings. So next year, we are planning 7 hybrid trainings. Those 7 hybrid trainings are going to happen in Malaga, in Spain. Why? Because we found the perfect venue. We found a venue that is in the mountains. You see the sea. The temperature here, I think I told you at the beginning of the session, or maybe I didn't, but yeah, yesterday I posted a reel here of this space, and I was with shorts. Like, it's very hot. It's 31 degrees today and yesterday. So why to go to another place? Here's perfect. The weather is perfect. So we stay in Malaga, and we do the trainings here and the retreats here, okay? And we found a beautiful venue, very good food. It's in the middle of the mountains. It's in nature. The weather is always good. And we have a lot of privacy. We have a huge shala, and it's super rare, super difficult to find a place like this. And then we can yell, we can make sounds. Sometimes people feel like, wow, this is too much for me, I'm overwhelmed. I go for a walk in nature, so there are no people. They don't meet anyone, just they meet trees, cats, and nature. So we want to stay here. So this is the plan, to stay here. But still, we are going to do city retreats. So for 2 or 3 days, we will go to different cities. We love London, so we will go back to London. We have an event on the 24th of January, so it's going to happen in a theater, and we are going to be seated, and we're going to do all these practices seated. And you will see that you don't need to lay down to feel so much. It's going to be amazing, super powerful, and you will see that you don't need a yoga mat to change your life and to feel so much. It's going to happen. We will send you more information soon. Yeah, so if you cannot afford it, Lisa, if you feel like, wow, this is an investment that right now I cannot do, you can join our membership. Our membership is around 20 euros, 18 pounds, and then you get access to 8 workshops per month. And then you can practice many different workshops. So you stay with us, and it's also good, okay? It's not, the difference is with the program, with this self-healing program that I explained, this is for you. We have group coaching, we help you. We give you exercises, assignments, you do work, we follow up. We try to understand where you are. You talk to us, we talk to you, and we help you. There is a plan. So the plan is to improve your life. And at the end of the program, this is the target, is that you have improved your life and you have a plan. Of course, in 8 weeks, you're not going to change everything. So you might not get your manifestation in 8 weeks, but you have a plan for the future. So this is the target, that you know what to do next. And also you get a set of tools that you know how to use for yourself. For the facilitator courses, not, but please check on the website, because we have a few discounts, and we have some early bird discounts. This QR code on the screen is only for the self-healing program, for the one for you for the 8 weeks. The event on the 24th of January in London is going to be different. It's going to be for 5 hours. We're going to be sitting in a theater. We're going to be talking and explaining more the connection between what we are doing and science, what is happening. It's going to be very intense as well. It's going to be very transformational as well. So it's not going to be less than in Copenhagen or other on-site workshops. It's going to be super interesting. I would say this is a different format, and still it's going to be super powerful. So if you have the chance, join us on the 24th. Amazing. So any other questions? I know that we are already late, but I have still a couple of minutes if you got any questions. And it's so nice to see some faces I have met in the on-site workshops, in trainings, out there, maybe in online workshops. It's so nice to have this screen here where I can see your faces. It's like I'm with you guys. Great, so thank you so much for being here today, for your energy, for your presence, for wanting to change yourself, because when you change yourself and you transform yourself, you are transforming the world. So it's not a selfish act that you do just for yourself. You are transforming the world with your actions. So thank you so much for your energy, for your time today, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. Have an amazing rest of the day. Have a lovely weekend, and I hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.